Hello, everybody. It's Margarita here from the Conscious Wealth Institute, and I am absolutely thrilled that you have joined me today. Well, I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes for a few people to turn up. I've just sent out the emails to remind people that we are now live, and I have some really great information to share with you today. And I hope that you have a cuppa and some pen and a piece of paper, because you're going to want to take notes. If you really want to make this year, this coming year, 2015, your best year ever, you are going to have to do something dramatically different. If your results have not been what you have wanted in the last few years, maybe for your entire life, then you're going to have to really change something drastically if you want to get drastically different results. That's not rocket science. That's just the way it is. And we all know that. So what are you prepared to change? So before we actually really get started, just some housekeeping. Firstly, there is a chat box below the video that you see there. And if you want to ask questions, and I'm actually just typing in this box at the moment. If you want to ask questions, if you want to talk to each other, say hello. And you can actually type in below in the chat box underneath the video. And I encourage you to do so. I have been racking my brains right up until 15 minutes ago. Not that I'm not prepared. I'm prepared for the presentation. But I have, if you've been in my tribe for a while, you know that I have done loads of different presentations, and some of them have lasted well over 4 hours, because I am so keen to share with you as much as I possibly can to really help you to achieve what you want to achieve. And you know, it can be hard. It can be really hard to achieve your goals and dreams. And there are specific reasons for that. There's only 1% of people in the world who actually achieve their goals and dreams. And there is 1% of 1% who achieve anything really and truly significant. It's a very small percentage. So what's special about those people? They're actually no different to you or me or anybody else. They just have a different history, different programming, different mindset, different set of belief systems. But that doesn't mean you can't have those too. And I was really racking my brain to figure out what are the most important things that I could share with you in the next 90 minutes that are going to be the most helpful for you, the most beneficial for you, and going to give you the most leverage to get as much as you possibly can out of the coming 12 months. Here in Australia, it is 8 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Eve. And it is the perfect time to be reviewing what hasn't worked this year and setting yourself up for success in the coming year. So let's get straight on with the presentation. Oh, and just one other thing is that there is about a 20-second delay on what I'm saying at the time and the actual broadcast. So I will come back and check for messages from you and questions from you from time to time during the presentation. If I don't get back to you straight away, then I will do my very best to check back as much as possible. But yes, there is about a 20-second delay. So whatever you put into the chat box, I may take a little while to get around to it. So a little bit of my background. I was working in corporate for so many years, and it was just soul destroying for me, absolutely soul destroying. I had good jobs, but it was like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. And I'm actually not even a square peg. I am all different kinds of shapes, and they change from day to day. But I never fit into that particular hole that they wanted to squeeze me into. that, as you can see, I'm a bit nutty. I'm a bit crazy. Actually, I'm a lot crazy. And I like to have fun. And I broke the mold. And to be honest with you, you all broke the mold. But we're taught to conform. And I could not conform in the corporate environment. So being into health and fitness, I became a personal trainer. All this time, I was training to be an opera singer because I have a voice that lends itself to opera. So I was trained to become an opera singer, and I just kept getting doors slammed in my face. I was working in corporate, then I stopped working in corporate. I became a personal trainer. That didn't really do it for me. It wasn't really working. Then this weird series of events, it was something like out of the Twilight Zone, led me to understand that I'm a sound healer. I'm a master sound healer, and my gift is to be able to shift people's conscious awareness, to shift their belief systems, their vibration, and to help them to be so much more than they know themselves to be right now. So to know yourself in your true infinite power and potential. And along the way, as well as the sound healing, I discovered a variety of other very powerful transformation gifts that I now incorporate in my work. And that's kind of the short form of that story. I had no idea 10 years ago, if you had told me I would end up doing this work and being in this space, I would have thought you were from another planet. And it's so incredibly rewarding. I cannot express to you enough just how amazing it is when you're on your purpose, on your path, doing what you love, and being able to live the lifestyle that is so incredibly rewarding. And I want that for you as well. And that's why I keep doing these webinars and these teachings and giving you as much as I possibly can to set you up for success. Because I've got to be straight with you, it's not that easy. If it were easy, there would be more than 1% of 1% achieving more than they ever dreamed possible. But it doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means that you have to, there's certain things that you need to have in place, and there's certain things that you need to be doing, and you don't need to do them just once. You need to do them over and over and over and over again. So during today's presentation, I'm going to talk to you about what you really want to achieve in 2015. What does the coming year hold for you? We're going to talk about the critical steps that you need to take to achieve whatever that is. What's holding you back from achieving that? What has held you back in the past, and what potentially could hold you back from the future, and how you can get around that. If it's okay with you, I will also be talking to you about an opportunity that I have for you to be able to fast track your success in 2015. I can give you all the free information in the world, but to stop there would be doing you a grave disservice. Because to be honest with you, unless somebody holds your hand and takes you through a particular process to get you to where you want to be, you can do it, but it's going to be a real struggle. If you want to fast track it, then I'm going to have an opportunity for you to be able to do that at the end of the presentation. So stick around for that. And I'm also going to be answering your questions during the presentation. So that's what I have in store for you during the next 90 minutes. So let's just get straight into it. Now, as I said, this time of year, New Year, is the most incredible time where so many people have some renewed energy around their goals and dreams. And it is a very powerful time of year. It's a time where you can let go of the old. You can go, oh, thank God that year is over. That was just the most hideous year. I never want to experience anything like that again. This coming year is just going to be the best year ever. The thing is that most people don't set themselves up the right way. It's great to say things in your head, this is what I'm going to do, and set your New Year's resolutions and all this kind of thing. 98% of New Year's resolutions fail. 98%. Are you going to let yourself fail this year by not setting yourself up in the right way and stacking the odds in your favor? You must do everything you can to stack the odds in your favor. And I'm going to share some fantastic tools and information and strategies for you to be able to do that. And it's then up to you to take action on that, because I know if you're here, you want to leave a legacy. I know that there are things that are happening on the planet that you see that just aren't good enough for you. There are things that you want to change. I know you want to make a difference, a powerful difference. And, you know, one of the reasons, actually the reason that I do this, the only reason I do this is that it breaks my heart to see people struggling through life. Absolutely breaks my heart when I know the joy that can be experienced in this life, to see people buried under so much crap and frustration and anger and sadness and fear, and they're allowing, not consciously, but allowing all this stuff to separate them from their joy. And that to me is the greatest tragedy, because I believe we came here to experience joy. And I know that you want to leave a legacy too. I know that there is a difference that you want to make in the world. You have this drive, this yearning to do something about some tragedy that's happening in the world right now. I also know that you really want to support your family and yourself to be able to live the best possible life that you can. And most heart-centered entrepreneurs break away from the rat race, from the job, just over broke, so they can be the creator of their own destiny. So they can actually experience the best that life has to offer. And sorry, I was distracted. I just wanted to check that my sound was working. I have great difficulty doing two things at once. So I know that you want to really be able to support yourself, your family, and not be held to ransom by an employer who is paying you a set amount of money. You want to be the determiner of your own destiny, the captain of your ship, and you want to have no ceiling, to be able to earn as much as you want, to be able to create the lifestyle that you want. But unfortunately, this is what happens for most heart-centered entrepreneurs. They end up struggling. And I know what that feels like. I have so been there. The reason for this is because there are two different types of people in the world. There are those who are born into the environment where they are programmed to be wealthy and successful. They have the right people around them. The people around them have the right attitude, the right information, the right strategies, the right mindset, which is so incredibly important. And those people, let's face it, aren't necessarily heart-centered entrepreneurs. I'm not saying they all don't have a good heart and they all don't have the best intentions of the world in their minds, but not all of them do. They may have the success mindset, but they're not necessarily putting it to good use to make a positive difference in the world. And that's their environment. That's what they grew up in. I'm not condemning that whatsoever. And then we have another kind of people who didn't grow up in that environment. They grew up in an environment where they had a mindset of struggle and there's not enough, and fear around money and success and self-esteem issues and all this other stuff that actually represses our ability to succeed. And guess where the vast majority of of heart-centered entrepreneurs are. They're in that group that didn't have the right environment growing up, and it's between the ages of 0 and 7 that most of our mindset is programmed, between the ages of 0 and 7. Yes, through the experiences that we have, we can be programmed further on in life, but our brain is most susceptible during the ages of 0 and 7. So if you were in that environment that didn't have the right mindset, information, strategies, tools, technology, they didn't encourage you to be the best that you could be, they didn't instill in you the knowledge that you are infinitely powerful and you have infinite potential and you can achieve anything that you put your mind to, then it's going to be more difficult for you. That's just the reality of it. In theory, it doesn't have to be, but because of your programming, it ends up being a struggle. But it doesn't have to be that way forever. There is a place of turning point. There's a place where you can start to live that inspired life. When I talk about living the inspired life, I talk about living in flow, where everything becomes easy and effortless, and it takes the right mindset to be able to get to that place. Imagine, just imagine when you have the right mindset and when you have the right vibration, because we know that everything is vibration. And when you're vibrating at the right frequency, to be able to achieve your goals and dreams and whatever you put your mind to, then you get the right connections. Then everything starts to happen and it feels like it's unfolding like magic. The right people turn up. You know the right actions to take. This is called living from an inspired place, living from inspiration. And living in that place is just incredibly rewarding. It's magical. And living your passion, your purpose, being on mission, this is something that nothing can substitute for that. No amount of money can substitute from the feeling you get living on passion and purpose. Money's important, absolutely, because it gives you leverage. And the feeling that you get, you could earn all the money in the world doing something that doesn't inspire you, that's not you're not passionate about, and you could end up very, very miserable. We see all the time people who have their money situations sorted. They don't have any financial worries. But how many of them are taking drugs, addicted to alcohol, have massive relationship problems, have huge health problems, end up committing suicide because there's something missing and it's got nothing to do with money. So living from an inspired place and living a life of passion and purpose is the most rewarding thing you could possibly do in this life, and that's what you're here to do. It gives incredible joy, and that's what you're here to experience. Living the lifestyle that you really want to live. We all want a particular kind of lifestyle. We don't want the same lifestyle. That would be a bit boring. When you get specific about the kind of lifestyle that makes you happy, it will be different to the other people around you. The big mistake that a lot of people make is they think, oh, well, everybody else wants the big car or the nice car, so I want the nice car. Everybody else wants the big house on the water, so I want the big house on the water. You know, everybody else wants to travel the world for 6 months of the year, so I want to travel the world for these 6 months of the year and have the boat and all this kind of thing. No, not everybody does. What do you want? What specifically do you want? What is the lifestyle that you want to achieve? I can ask a lot of people, and I do ask a lot of people, what do you want? They actually can't tell me what they want. They do tell me what they don't want. And it's important to remember that you get what you focus on. So if you keep saying, well, I don't want this and I don't want that and I don't want this and I don't want that, the universe doesn't hear I don't want. It just hears what comes after that. And then it gives you more of that. So you need to be very specific about the lifestyle that you really want to create. So it's really important that you set yourself up this coming year to stack the odds in your favor. So if you get nothing else out of this presentation today, What I really want you to take away from this is, what is your plan for this coming year? What is your strategy to achieve different results than you have achieved in previous years? Because if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a strategy, then you are setting yourself up for failure. There's the old saying, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So you need to have a strategy and a plan in place that you follow to get different results. And if you want results that are wildly different from previous years, you are going to have to do something drastic, dramatically different from every other year of your life to create those results. So with your plan and your strategy, have you been specific about what you truly want? How do you want your year to look? What do you want to have achieved by the end of 2015? Be really specific. How much income do you want to make this coming year? And how is that made up? So are you the person who is dealing one-on-one with clients and you're getting paid for dollars for your time? So you're only getting paid for the time that you work. Do you have some leveraged income, like some passive income in products and recordings and things that you put out there that people purchase that you don't have to be physically present for? You've created it. Or you could have affiliate programs. So other people have created products and you then promote those products. There's all different ways you can create passive income, leveraged income. You could, instead of just doing one-to-one, you could do one-to-many. That's leveraged income. So you need to be very specific about how you want that income to look. Specificity is really, really important. And clarity around how you want your life to look, how you want your business to look, how you want your health to look, how you want your relationships to look. Write it down. Do you know that people who write their goals down are 95% more likely to achieve them? 95%. It's simple. And you know how many people actually write their goals down? Less than 5%. Less than 5% of people write their goals down. Is it any wonder that so many people are not succeeding? Just really dwell on those numbers for a minute. You're 95% more likely to achieve your goals and dreams if you write them down. And yet, in spite of this figure, this very strong statistic, only 5% of the population are doing that. And it's just so simple. All you have to do is write your goals down. Well, that's step number one. It's not all you have to do, but it's step number one to start stacking the odds in your favor. So write your goals down. Be clear, be specific. How do you want your life to look? And that vision that you have for this year, that you have for your life by the end of this year, keep revisiting it. And don't let the dreaded how-tos get in the way. What stops a lot of people is they look at these goals and they go, oh, I don't know how. So they don't even start. You're not going to know how. Point blank, you are not going to know how you're going to achieve your goals. Just be very specific about what you want and don't let your perception of what's possible get in your road. That's another big mistake that people make. They get held back by the limiting beliefs they have about what they think is possible. So they look at their goals, they look at what they really want, and then they go, oh, well, that's not possible. So I'm just going to dumb it down. I'll settle for a lot less than what I really want because I don't really believe that's possible. Just suspend disbelief. Get into your imagination. What do you really want? And then go for it. 150%, just go for it. Because if you don't, you are selling yourself short. And if you don't go for what you want, then you're never going to achieve it. If you agree to settle, you'll never get more than what you aim for. The universe will provide for you in so many ways, and life will actually look better than what you could possibly imagine. But you have to step up and reach for what you truly want, and don't let all those belief systems get in your road. All the things that are telling you you can't, you're not good enough, it's never going to happen, it's not possible, they're all lies. They're all lies. I'll come back to the point that you have infinite power and potential. Infinite. You can achieve anything you put your mind to, but you must put your mind to it in order to achieve it. So be really specific about creating your vision for the future, and plan, get your strategic action plan in place. So once you know what you want, then put a strategic action plan in place as to how that's going to happen. As I said, you actually don't know how it's going to unfold, but you need to have at least some sort of plan in place to get there. So be very specific about who you're going to serve. Have a look at your marketing strategies, your marketing plan. And there are so many different bright lights out there. And I've got to be honest with you, I'm a squirrel. I constantly have to remind myself to come back to focus, back to focus, back to focus. Because one of my biggest sabotages over the years has been that I feel like I have to do everything. And there's always something new and interesting to learn and do. And there's a new strategy out there. So I'll dump the strategy that I am using and I'll move on to a new one because it's more interesting. And because I get to learn new things. But what you need to do is follow through on 2 or 3. You need to pick 2 or 3 different strategies for getting your business off the ground. And if you want to set your mind to winning the lottery, I wish you all the best if that is your strategy for your future wealth and success. And to be honest with you, if you want to leverage the universe and give yourself every opportunity to be wealthy, then I encourage you to put in an entry into the lottery. I encourage you to do that. What I also encourage you to do is not have that as your only strategy. Your best chance at achieving long-term sustainable wealth is through conscious business. Conscious business. And to be able to create a conscious, thriving business, you must have some form of plan going for you. So put a plan in place. Revisit the plan on a weekly, even daily basis. Make sure you're sticking to the plan. And if the plan isn't working, then you need to be flexible and you need to adjust it. But you must have a plan in place, and get your plan going now. Don't wait till the 1st of December or the 5th of December. Start right now. Set a plan in place today and get your momentum happening now. Because what happens to most people, they get a week or a month into the new year and they kind of feel like, oh, it's a game over. I've done it again. I've missed the mark. Start now. There is no time like the present to get your momentum happening. I've already spoken about this, being on mission. There is nothing more rewarding than being on your mission. And when you're on your mission, when you have a vision and a mission that is bigger than you, there is a force behind you that drives you, that is, it's indescribable. It's just something within you that just keeps you going in the face of adversity. And you will face adversity. You will have challenges. I don't have any magic pill for you there. That is a part of this magical existence that we live in. And it's all about our growth, about reaching our potential. Without the challenges and adversity that we face, we would never continue to strive to reach our full potential and to grow. That is a critical part of our growth, is the adversity and the challenge. So embrace it, Welcome it. See it as an opportunity for you to step up to the next level. I see the challenges and adversities that come my way as the universe saying, you can do better than that. You can do better than that. You're ready for the next level. Step up. Let's do it. And the bigger the adversity and the bigger the challenge, the bigger the opportunity. Seriously. So being on mission, it fuels your fire, and you will be unstoppable when you are on your mission. If you don't know what your mission is yet, that's okay. I can help you with that. And that's something that if you really do want to take an advantage, an opportunity to work with me at the end of this presentation, then stick around, because I'm going to share with you something that I'm starting in the new year for you to really help you to get on mission, to live your vision, your purpose, your passion, and to be able to achieve more than you ever imagined possible. The next thing about achieving what you want to achieve is your core values. So it's really important that you understand what your core values are. Most people go through life don't understanding what their core values are. Why are your core values so important? Because you will always act in accordance with your core values. So if money and financial wealth is not one of your core values, and you don't know how to leverage your core values, so you can put them in alignment with what you want to achieve, then you're really going to be, the old saying, pushing it uphill. You're going to be struggling to achieve what you want to achieve, because if you have 5, 10, 20 things before money and wealth, then all of those things are going to take priority. And it's really important that you align your goals with your core values. There's some NLP processes that will tell you that you need to actually adjust your core values and change them and put them in a different order. That was something that just was not congruent for me. You must be congruent in everything that you do. And when I looked at my values, I went, well, that is just not, I am not sacrificing any of those core values that I have at the top for the value of money. That is not congruent with who I am. So I had to find a way, and I found a way through Dr. John Demartini, actually. Well, I didn't find the way. I found the strategy, not the technique to actually align the values, but the fact that you can align your core values with your goals, and that will actually really help to put you on a fast track to success, because until that happens, it can be a real struggle. And of course, you must take daily, consistent action. Consistent daily action is essential to you achieving anything. If you want to lose weight, guess what? You're going to have to take consistent daily action. You're going to have to put different food in your mouth, and you're going to have to do a little bit of exercise. Get the body moving. If you do that once a month, it stands to reason that you're not going to get the results that you want. Now, that makes sense. But people don't seem to apply that to success in other areas of their life. They seem to take this haphazard, scattergun approach to achieving their wealth and success, and then they wonder why they're not achieving the results that they want. Set yourself up for success by taking 3 to 5 strategic actions every day toward your goal. Every day. And don't go to bed until you've done those 3 to 5 things, because that builds momentum. How do they build the wall of China? 1 brick at a time. Lots of slave labor, but those people built that brick wall 1 brick at a time. And you must take the same attitude to your wealth and success. What a lot of people do is, because they want it now, they want it yesterday, they have this urgency that they have to have it. And when you put that kind of pressure on it, then all you're doing is taking frantic action out of panic. that is not going to get you to where you want to be. You need to be very strategic. You need to be measured. You need to be consistent. And you need to know where you're going and just keep that in your mind. Every step you take, keep that in your mind. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. If you really want overnight riches and success, then I probably should have said this 35 minutes ago, because if that's what you want, then this is not the presentation for you. I'm about building. I'm about leveraging the universe and leveraging the law of attraction and making sure that you get the best results in the quickest possible time. But I know from personal experience that it takes measured, specific, dedicated, strategic, and consistent action to get the results that you want. So this is really, really important, and you need to take action in various ways. So you need to take strategic action on your business. You need to take action on your personal development, your personal growth. You need to take action on your mindset. You need to take action on your health. It's so important that you are attending to your physical and mental and emotional well-being. So when I talk about health, it's not just your physical health, it's also your mental and your emotional health and well-being that is critical to achieving long-term wealth and success in every area of your life. So you must take action. And then this is just as important as every other step. You need to give yourself permission. You must let go and let God. Particularly if you follow Abraham Hicks, and she talks about the vortex, or Abraham talks about the vortex, about being in the right vibration, in that getting swept up in the momentum of success and wealth, and being in alignment with what you truly want, vibrational alignment. And I've realized that, and myself included, we are programmed to hold on so tight and we get rigid. And if I'm clenching my teeth at the moment, which is why my voice has gone funny, although you can't see me, I'm taking all the actions, that our body and our mind gets locked into, I'm just going to get through another day and I'm going to make this happen and it's going to work for me. You must take action. And they say to take massive action. I'm not sure that that's necessary. You need to take consistent action. But one of the most important things is that you need to be in flow. You need to let go and let God and stay curious and not get so caught up in this must happen and it must happen my way and I have to have it happen now. Let go. Breathe. Let go. Surrender. The more you surrender, the more flow will happen in your life. The more you try to hold on really tight, you won't be able to allow the magic and miracles that the universe can enable for you. The universe is incredibly enabling, but you must allow it. And that feeling of surrender, and the word that came to mind for me recently was yield. I just kept hearing the word yield. Just yield, constantly yield, in every moment, yield, take action and yield, surrender, let go. And I've got to tell you that practice alone has totally shifted not only my way of being, but I can really start seeing the flow begin to happen. A little secret that I shared a few days ago is that I try so hard and I have worked so hard and my results haven't really reflected the amount of work that I've put in. I've had some incredible results in my life. But if I've looked at the work that I've put in and the results, they really don't reflect that. And I understand why now. And the whole saying, let go and let God. And it's been an understanding that I've only really come to recently, a deeper understanding of what that means. It is a total and utter surrender to the magic and the wisdom of the universe, knowing that everything really is perfect. And the more you surrender, the more you let go, the more you give not only yourself permission to succeed. This permission is partly giving yourself permission to succeed, permission to be wealthy, permission to be everything you can possibly be, and so much more. Permission to be alive and joyful and just be happy. Give yourself permission to be happy. But when you yield, when you surrender, you then give the universe permission to take up your mantle, to take up your mission for you, and to actually do the hard lifting. Unless you give the universe the permission to do the hard lifting for you, it can't. And so many of us have the programming that unless we do the job ourselves, then it's not going to be done properly. And unless we take control of every little aspect, then it can't happen the way we want it to happen. And that is, in fact, one of the big ways that we get in our own way, that we stop ourselves from being as wealthy and successful as we possibly can be, in having the beautiful relationships that we can. So giving yourself permission, letting go, letting God, this is a critical part of the equation. So before I go any further, guys, I really want to check in with you and just see where you're at. What do you have any questions right now? Is there anything that I've missed that you don't understand? Because I know that I go at 100 miles an hour. So please, if you have any questions, please check in and just write those questions or give me some feedback. Let me know where you're at and what's really resonating with you. I can see that we have Mel from Redcliffe. Hello. Yes, square peg in a round hole. Yes, when you feel like that, it's very, very uncomfortable. We have Campbell from Melbourne. Frank from Ireland. Hi, Frank. Hello, Richmond from California. Jackie from Mumbai, Melbourne from the UK, Dot from Manchester. Hello to all of you. And to anybody else who's on the call and hasn't logged into Chatwing and hasn't sort of said hello, please let us know who you are, where you're from, and join in the conversation, so I can help you in the best possible way. The more feedback I get, the more questions I get from you, the more I can help you. As I said right in the beginning, I have been just racking my brains to think of what critical information I can share with you for you to get the most out of this. So, all right, well, let's get back on track for now, and I will come back and check those questions very soon. So now I'm just going to share with you the 7 states of wealth, just so you understand. Okay, wait a minute. I've just checked in. Mel Sparks has asked more about expanding on core values. Okay, so we all grow up with a set of core values, and they're largely dictated by the people and authorities in our lives and the major influences that we've had in our lives. And core values could be family. It could be wealth creation. It could be compassion. It could be passion, love, relationships. It could be health. It could be making a difference. There's just thousands of potential core values that you could have that you apply to from in your life. Now, I know when I did up my set of core values that money on mine and financial wealth on mine was like number 24. And above that, I had love, making a difference, leaving a legacy, living a passionate life, and all these other things. Family, health. Health is really, really important to me. So my top core values, I had 23 core values ahead of money. So what I needed to do, instead of restructuring my core values, because your core values make up who you truly are. Now, this is actually, it's a little bit of a deviation, but it's very important for your relationships, and relationships are actually a part of this equation. So it's not a big deviation. But if you think of when two people get together, most people don't understand the core value system. So when you have two different people coming together who have two completely different core values, and we always act in alignment with our core values. And our core values do shift and change as we go through life. When you have a significant event happen in your life, so just say you have children, your core values will change. Or you change careers, your core values might change. Or if you're in a new relationship, your core values might change. So they stay very much the same for most of our lives, but they can shift around a bit depending on the significant events that happen in our lives. And sometimes, particularly for women, sometimes women get into a relationship and they actually act in opposition to their core values because they want to please their other half. Now, men don't tend to do that. Men just tend to stick to their core values because that's what men do. And they don't understand that that's what they're doing. But there's all this compromise going on over here from the female with their core values. And that's actually really not the right approach at all, because the more you compromise your core values, the more resentful you're going to be, the more angry you're going to be. And how much do we see of that in relationships? Because you're compromising your core values, trying to fit in with the guy, and the guy's not shifting 1 inch because the guy's been staying in alignment with his core values, and he doesn't understand what the female's doing. He doesn't understand that the woman is making all these compromises and changes to try and fit in and make the guy happy. He doesn't see that. He's just being the guy. He's got his core values and he sticks to them. And what ends up happening is not only do you have all this resentment because the female, and sometimes the guys do it too, but not only is this resentment from the female who's compromising her core values, there's also a complete misalignment of core values. And because the female sees the male acting in a particular way and she doesn't understand why he acts that way, he's acting in accordance with his core values. But if you don't know what his core values are, you don't understand that, right, he's doing that because he's acting in alignment with his core values, and vice versa. The guy looks at the girl and goes, what the hell is she doing? And why on earth is she doing that? Because she's acting in alignment with her core values. And it's possible that she's compromising her core values because she's now put the relationship at the top of the list of her core values. So she's now compromising all her other core values because the relationship has moved to the top of the list. And if this isn't rectified, this whole mismatch, then the relationship will probably ultimately fail, or if it doesn't fall apart, then it could end up being a very unhappy relationship. So wouldn't it be magical if you worked out what your core values were, if you also found out what your potential partner or your partner's core values were, and then you understood each other's behaviors and you didn't require either person to change them? Because bottom line, you can't. They are acting in accordance with their core values. Their core values are their core values. Their core values are what makes up the person. So if you require them to change their behavior and act not in alignment with their core values, recipe for disaster. And the other thing is that before you get in too deep, if you were to see somebody else's core values and go, whoa, that is so not what I want to be with. Those core values, I can't live with that. I'm not going to waste the next 6 months, 12 months, 15 years of my life to find out that it's not going to work. So core values, and that's just one example of how they affect our lives so dramatically. When you understand what your core values are, you will really understand why you behave the way you do and why you possibly aren't achieving the results that you want. Then you can actually align your core values, your dreams and goals, with your core values, and you have a powerful recipe for success. I hope that makes more sense, Mel, and that's a little bit more clear for you. Hello, Kim from the UK and Monty from Los Angeles. Glad you could make it. And again, if you have any questions along the way, if I'm not clear, or if there's just something else that you want to know, please ask. Okay, so moving on to the 7 states of wealth. I'm just going to put them up here because I won't spend too long on these. When I talk about wealth, this is a very important distinction for the work that I do. When I talk about wealth, I'm not just talking about financial wealth. I am talking about conscious wealth. And conscious wealth is a combination of health, your emotional well-being, your relationships, your financial wealth. It's definitely a part of the equation. Your intellectual wealth, your wisdom. It doesn't mean that it's what you know, like it's all the information that you've gathered, which, believe it or not, you have gathered an awful lot of information over the course of your lifetime. And it is completely and totally and utterly unique to any other person's set of information. There is nobody else who has the information that you have in your brain. So if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know enough, I'm not enough, I need to know more, I have to do another course, rubbish. Rubbish. You already have all the information and the tools within you to start to achieve incredible things, but you need to have the belief in yourself. Also spiritual. So all of these, health, emotional, relationships, financial, intellectual, and spiritual wealth, they're all components of wealth. And if you have one that's not in balance, one that's not being attended to, then it can really set up a massive imbalance in your life. And if you come from a place of conscious wealth, which is why I call this the Conscious Wealth Institute, if you come from a place of conscious wealth, then it's actually attending to all of these. Conscious wealth is a state of being. It's not a state of having. And when you come from that place, it comes from the inside out. And it brings all of these components of your life into balance. And they all grow, and not exactly the same rate, but they grow at a similar rate and they grow in balance. So every single part of your life is supporting every other part of your life. And it is about being in flow. So when I talk about wealth, I just want you to know that I'm talking about a holistic wealth, conscious wealth. I'm talking about the whole picture, not just one component, because if you focus on one component, you're going to put everything else out of balance. Just quickly, the 7 most common blocks that people have to success are fear of change. We all have a fear of change to one extent or another, and some have it more than others. And that's programmed into us for a reason, because change means moving into the unknown. And sometimes, and the unknown can be challenging, it can be difficult. And if we have a fear of change, then we will do whatever we can unconsciously to remain the same, to keep everything in the same state as it is, no matter how uncomfortable it is. A fear of failure, obviously, is a very, very big one. We've been indoctrinated with this fear of failure from a very early age, and it's really sad because failure is essential. Failure is, just as I can guarantee if you are born, you're going to die. If you're going to try to succeed at anything, you're going to fail. But it's only temporary failure because you have to learn how to get to success. And your temporary failures, they're going to be plenty of them, are simply you failing your way to success. There's going to be a lot more failures than successes in your life. But instead of seeing them as failings, seeing them as learnings, because the only true failure is the failure to participate. Then the only way you can fail to participate is if you just give up. And if you give up, then it's pretty much all over, and the rest of your time here on this planet is going to be very unrewarding. So there's a fear of failure. There's a fear of success. This has really come out a lot in the last few years. And a few years ago, people didn't really understand why would we be afraid of success. But particularly here in Australia, we have what we call the tall poppy syndrome. And somebody who exceeds and succeeds at a very high level is a target for people who want to bring them down. And that mentality is because it's actually easier for people to bring others back down to their level than it is for them to step up and do what they need to do to succeed. So in order to not have these people show them up, and for them not to feel inadequate in their presence, what they do is they reach up and they pull them down. Have you ever heard the crab story? Where if you have a dozen crabs in a bucket and one crab manages to get halfway out the bucket, the other crabs will actually reach up and pull the other crab back down. We have the crab mentality. That is what we do. So in order to avoid that kind of having that attention put on us and having people try to bring us down and having possible rejection, which is another fear, we don't want to succeed. We stay the same. We want to be like everybody else. And part of that is a fear of loss, because we're afraid you will have to sacrifice something. If you want to achieve results in your life and you want to achieve different results than what you have right now, you're going to have to give something up. And so many people are so attached to what they have right now, the people they have in their lives, the things they have in their lives, some of the situations they have in their lives that they're afraid they're going to lose. They would rather everything stay the same than succeed and have what they actually want. Even though what they want may be better than where they are right now. Well, let's face it, if you want something, it's got to be better than where you are right now, at least in your perception. Then you've got to give up something for that. And a lot of the time, the fear of loss is stronger than the yearning to succeed. A fear of rejection. Again, you are going to be rejected by people. When you succeed, there are going to be people out there who don't like it for whatever their fears are. And it's just their fears. It's their self-belief, their worths, their self-esteem that actually they're projecting onto you, but they're going to reject you. I get it all the time myself with what I do and the information that I put out there. I get constant criticism from people, but I've learned that that's not actually about me. That's about them. And if they want to stay in that world, then that's fine. It's just water off a duck's back. I don't let it bother me. And I surround myself with people who love me, support me, encourage me, champion my successes, applaud my ideas, help me in whatever way they can to lift me up, or depending on where they're at, drag me up by grabbing me and dragging me up with them. I make sure I surround myself with those people, and the rejection, it just bounces off. Self-esteem, self-worth, and self-belief. These are so critical to your success. If you have a low self-esteem and self-worth and self-belief, it's just because of the thoughts that you have and the belief systems that you have and the lies that you have been led to believe and that you have chosen to believe, that you feel that you're not good enough, or you don't know enough, or you're not tall enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not good looking enough, or you're not intelligent enough, or you don't have enough education, or whatever it might be. It's all lies. It's just a story. These things, all of these things are stories. And when you let go of the stories, magic and miracles are allowed to unfold. The other common block to success is toxic emotions. Fear, anger. Anger is an incredible block for wealth and success. If you have anger within you, then man, you are going to push wealth and success away so fast. So fear, anger, sadness, grief, shame and guilt. Shame and guilt are two of the most toxic emotions you will ever experience. And there's obviously a whole suite of negative toxic emotions that you may be holding on to. And this is why I love the transformational work so much, because as you let go of those emotions, you get more into the flow, you get more into living an inspired life, you get more into giving yourself permission to be all that you can be, and to have the joy and the freedom and the abundance and the wealth and the richness of life just builds as you let go of those toxic emotions. We're not taught to deal with our emotions when they happen, particularly the really negative ones. And because of that, they get trapped within us. And the more they get trapped, the more they build up, and the more they affect us, and the more they affect our future. So they're the 7 most common blocks to success. I'm just going to check in with you guys again and just see how you're doing. If you have any more questions, that's great, Mel. I'm glad I got that question answered for you. Frank says, get to know yourself. Absolutely get to know yourself. And you know what's beautiful about that, Frank? Thank you for reminding me, is that you need to own your brilliance. One thing I've really noticed about when I've been in the presence of those who are super successful and those who have forged the way for us is that their sense of self, they own their brilliance, and it's not in an egotistical way. It's not as if they're standing up there going, ha, ha, I'm so good and I'm so much better than you. And I'm just incredible. But there is their whole being just really emanates that knowingness, knowing who they are, knowing what they're capable of. And it's incredible to be in the presence of somebody like that. And that's what you need to get to. You need to get to the point where you can stand knowing how amazing you are, how incredible you are, that you have infinite power and potential, that you are beautiful inside and out, that you are the most incredible gift to this planet, and you can achieve anything you put your mind to, and you deserve it. You truly deserve it. You are brilliant. And you need to know that you are safe, shining that brilliance, being the best you can be, standing in your power. Stand in your power and know who you truly are. Who you truly are is the most magnificent, amazing, incredible being who ever lived. And once you know that, you will be unstoppable. I guarantee it. So, okay, let's get back to the presentation, because there it is, anger, shame, guilt, and resentment. Oh, this is really cool. This is something that I made up recently, and it's your goal word for success in 2015. So once you know what you want to achieve, once you know how you want your life to look, what word will define the actions that you take and the way you approach your success in 2015? Now, there are thousands of words to choose from. These are just a few that I put together to give you some suggestions for, and I had to stop myself. I started, I thought I'll just put about 20 words down, and I just kept writing and writing and writing words. And I realized that the number of words I could put there are infinite. Now, you can have one word, or if you can't do with one word, you can have 2 words. I encourage you to try and distill it down to 1 word. There's right at the top in the 3rd column there, you'll see it says let go. Now, that's 2 words, but it has a very specific meaning. My word for the coming year is allow. Remember how I said just a little while ago that I've really come to understand that power of letting go and surrendering and yielding to the wisdom of the universe and not hanging on so tightly and trying to make everything happen my way. So my word for this coming year is allow. Now, what I encourage you to do is if one of those words don't fit for you, or take some time on this. Really take some time. It may take you a couple of hours. It may take you a few days. It may take you a couple of weeks to really get your word for the year. Get your thesaurus out, either on your computer or if you have a physical thesaurus, and start looking up words and find that word that you want to define your success and your achievements for 2015. And then print that word out and put it on your wall. That word allow has already really started impacting the way I approach my success in 2015. And I'm feeling so much more relaxed about where I'm headed and about achieving my goals. It doesn't mean my goals are any smaller, not by any stretch. That's just not possible for me. But it does mean that I'm approaching them in a very different way. I'm more relaxed. I'm allowing the magic and the miracles of the universe. I'm staying curious and seeing the perfection in everything that is unfolding in my life. So that is a great way for you to set yourself up for success in 2015. So what I do want to talk to you about now is the program that I have coming up for you in a few short weeks that is really going to help to set you up for success in 2015. The thing is, if you want to get on the fast track, then you really need somebody to hold your hand and to take those specific strategic actions that you need to take to get to where you want to be. So the Wealth Mindset Mastery program is 12 weeks of intense weekly breakthrough coaching sessions. So what you're going to be able to do is master strategies, tools, and techniques to put your wealth and success into hyperdrive, to know your destiny and live your purpose and your passion, to develop your own holistic wealth consciousness, or your conscious wealth from the inside out, and have everything in balance and harmony, to uncover and clear the limiting beliefs, emotions, and belief systems that are holding you back. What fears are stopping you? And is it self-esteem issues that you need to overcome? We'll actually work through those together. I'm going to be there personally on these calls with you for the 12 weeks and working with you to get through this. So in saying that, know that this program is not for the faint-hearted. This is not one of those easy peasy, breezy kind of programs. This is going to be in depth. It's going to really, I'm going to work as much as possible to get to the core of what your belief systems are and your fears and emotions that are holding you back, to be able to really put you on a fast track for 2015. We're going to work on your self-esteem issues, your self-worth, and your self-confidence constantly during those 12 weeks to help you to develop the faith, belief, and trust that you need to achieve more than you ever dreamed possible. Just imagine knowing on every level that you can achieve whatever you put your mind to, having complete faith and belief that you have the potential to achieve whatever you put your mind to. When you have that kind of belief, you really become unstoppable, because anything that gets in your road, any challenges that you have, are simply just temporary. And you know they're temporary because you know where you're going and you know you can achieve it. So you don't let anything get in your right way. So we'll be developing that kind of belief over the 12 weeks. You get to live from a place of inspiration. Some of the features and benefits, we're going to be doing lots of EFT, sound healing, instant miracle technique, as well as other powerful healing tools, like the peace process, release technique. That I'll probably be using Byron Katie's The Work from time to time on different things if there's a call for it. So we're going to be doing a lot of transformation work during these 12 weeks. And that is what is so critically important to your success, is this transformation work. getting clarity and certainty about your future, connecting with like-minded people. The only people who are going to be part of this program are like-minded people, other heart-centered entrepreneurs who want to make a difference. And the power of that community is absolutely priceless. Expanding your consciousness and your awareness. This is really, really critical and important, because the more you're aware of the thoughts that are going through your head that are not supportive of you achieving your goals, and we all have them, some just have them more than others, the more you're aware of those thoughts, the more you can find the belief systems that are driving those thoughts. And those thoughts are just lies. Any thought that does not tell you that you are beautiful, you are magnificent, you are completely and totally capable and powerful and wonderful and brilliant, any thought that deviates from that is a lie. So we'll be expanding your consciousness and awareness to really weed out those thoughts that are holding you back, so you can start to change them and really turn your life around. Borrowing benefits. This is something that a lot of people don't talk about, but that I have experienced in so many group programs, and I love it. It's when, like, if you're in a group of 10 or 20 people and one person is working on something that is a block for them, there will be some sort of a thread that is affecting you as well. So when they're working on their stuff, you are still working on your stuff. Even at first, it doesn't seem like it's related. There will be a thread of that's related, and it will bring up stuff for you that you didn't even realize was there. So that is the power of working in a group environment. Accountability, actually stating your goals each and every week and turning up and saying what you have done to achieve those goals, what actions you are going to take each week, and being accountable to the group. Accountability is a really big part of what drives humans to do what they do. If you set an intention or a goal and you don't tell anybody about it, then there's no accountability. And whether you achieve that goal or dream, nobody actually knows about it. And you can just let it slide by, and you'll just sweep that one under the carpet. That's just another one that you'll sweep under the carpet. When there's accountability, it really drives a lot more motion. And it's so important to be in motion and to have some sort of motivation to remain in motion. And accountability is a big part of that. You will think, feel, and act differently. I guarantee it by the end of these 12 weeks, so long as you're participating. If you expect this to happen by osmosis and you just, you don't turn up to actually be a part of the group, the group structure and the group programs, then sorry, but this ain't going to work, and this isn't for you. If you are determined to turn up for as much of this program as possible and be present and actually participate, then by the end of the 12 weeks, you will definitely think, feel, and act differently. And if you want different results, then this is what is going to get you there. If you want different results, you must think, feel, and act differently. That's just the way this works. And having an attitude of gratitude. It's so amazing just waking up each and every morning and being able to move through the day with this constant attitude of gratitude. Now, I'm not saying that I'm constantly in gratitude. There are times in my life when I'm really not very grateful for the current moment, or what it's bringing me, or what it's bringing up in me, or what it's throwing in my face, or what I see in myself. But I am largely in a state of gratitude, and it is just the most rewarding place to be, being grateful for the things that I have in my life. And it's not just being grateful for the good stuff, it's being grateful for the challenges. It's being grateful for those people who show me the work that I still have to do, and where I am not being the best that I can be. So having that attitude of gratitude, we're really going to foster that during the program. Now, this program in and of itself is worth $2,997. The bonuses that you will get with this is 2 one-on-one breakthrough sessions. So you'll get one breakthrough session before we start the program, and then you'll get another breakthrough session at some time of your choosing that we can match up our diaries through the 12-week program to help you with something that you might be struggling with. After the 12 weeks, so I don't completely leave you in the lurch, there is a bonus that you will get access to my Inner Circle membership, which is worth $497 a month. So that in and of itself, the value of that is $1,491, just so you can get ongoing mentoring and access to me on an ongoing basis. 6 expert interviews on copywriting. And if you think that's a bit odd, copywriting is one of the most powerful skills you can learn. It's selling on paper. And if you're afraid of selling, then we're going to clear that as well, because you have got to be you've got to be comfortable with selling yourself and selling what you do or the service or the product that you provide. So copywriting is a skill that will stand you in good stead and will make the difference between your programs making thousands or making millions. So that's valued. That's 6 interviews that I did with Scott Juna, who is an expert copywriter. And that's valued at $997. That will really help you to get your copywriting on track. You'll get the entire Conscious Wealth Summit recordings for 2014, which I did just a couple of months ago. There's 24 hours of content there, 24 expert interviews. Actually, I think there's 26 because we ended up doing a couple more than we originally intended. So that's valued at $497. Plus, of course, you'll get exclusive membership to the Facebook support group, which is the forum for you to not only get support from me, but for support from the other members of the group. So they're the 5 bonuses. Now, that is all worth $6,976, but of course, you're not going to pay that. The program, I'm going to be charging $1,997 when this goes to the public in the new year. This is the first time I'm actually presenting this program to anybody. You guys are seeing it first. And you get first bite at the cherry. And when it goes out to the public, it will be $1,997. For today, it is $1,497. So you can get $500 off if you decide that you want to get access right now. Now, you don't have to pay that upfront. You actually only pay the deposit first. It's $197 deposit, and that is fully refundable. What happens is, when you pay the $197, I schedule you in for your first 90-minute breakthrough session. Now, that in and of itself is worth $497. If you have your breakthrough session and decide that you don't want to continue with the program, then I give you all your money back. No questions asked. So you pay that $197. We schedule you in. You are not committed to the program at that point. It's simply a way for you to put your hand up and say, I really want to change my life this year, and I'm determined to do something about it. So that's the deposit. And then we will actually begin the program the week beginning the 26th of January. So that will give me enough time to do all the breakthroughs before we get started on the 26th of January. And if you want access to the program, just go to consciouswealthinstitute.com/wealth-mindset-mastery. And that will give you all the information that you need to know everything you need to know about the program. Now, there's if that's not possible for you, if it's not doable, then I do have repayment plans. Payment plans available. You can either pay the deposit of $197 and then the full payment of $1,300 when you decide to go with the program. You can pay it off in 3 monthly installments of $497, or you can pay it off in 6 monthly installments of $297 each for the program. Just to make it as doable as I can for you. And those repayments won't start until the program starts on the 26th of January. That's that week of the 26th of January. When the program starts, that's when the first payment will be due. And of course, you get a full satisfaction 30-day money-back guarantee. If you start the program and in the first 30 days, you don't think it's what you need to get to where you want to be, then I will give you a full money-back guarantee. guarantee everything that you have paid will be reimbursed to you. Okay, so we're back to questions again. And while I am waiting for your questions to come through, I just want to give you a few more tips for you to make this your best year ever. And one is keep it simple. One of the things that we tend to do so much as human beings is we complicate everything. We make it so hard for ourselves that it becomes impossible for us to succeed. So whatever plan you put in place, keep it simple. Whatever strategies that you are putting in place for achieving your goals and dreams, make sure you only have a few very specific strategies that you want to do. Don't try jumping all over the place and think that you have to do everything, because you don't. Do a few things well. Keep it really, really simple. Act as if. This is really, really important. To play in a successful space, you must play from a successful place. So to play in a successful space, to be successful, you must play from a successful place. And that is acting as if. That is what Abraham Hicks talks about all the time. Esther Hicks, Abraham, is that acting as if. So that doesn't mean that when you're a wealthy person, you're going to go out and spend all this money. It means that you posture yourself that you are already that successful person, because you are already that successful person. You are. Just because the results that you have in your life don't necessarily reflect that everything that you possibly want, and it never will, because you'll constantly think up new things that you want to achieve. You already are that successful person inside. You need to access that person and act from that place. Posture yourself in that way so that you show up to the world as a successful person. And if you haven't been doing that all your life, then it's going to take practice. So it's acting as if, and it's playing from that space. It's asking those questions. So if Richard Branson had this particular challenge, what would he do? And do you think Richard Branson ever goes, oh, it's too hard, I can't do it? Or, oh, I don't know how it's going to happen, so I'm not even going to try. Or I don't have the resources to be able to achieve that, so I'm just not going to bother. Of course he doesn't. He knows that he can achieve anything he puts his mind to. So he finds a way. And that's what you must do. You must find a way. Act as if. Stop playing small. It doesn't serve you or anybody else to play small. The other thing that I want to share with you is you've got to have hustle. You've got to have hustle. Because things will happen throughout your career, throughout your lifetime, throughout your successful journey that are going to throw a spanner in the works. And you've got to be able to hustle. That's just, it's essential. And you've got to have people on your team who support you, who encourage you, who believe in you, who will mentor you, who will coach you. You must surround yourself with a supportive team. And to stack the odds in your favor, there are many things, simple things that you can do on a day-to-day basis to change your vibration, to change your mindset, because your mindset, your psychology is your most critical ally, your best ally, or your worst enemy. And if your results aren't reflecting what you want, then there's something in your mindset that's holding you back. So to change your mindset and to change your vibration, because they're not one in the same thing, but they're complementary to each other. Because when you change your mindset, you change your vibration. So do everything that you possibly can, everything you possibly can to actually get everything stacked in your favor. The kinds of things that I do, apart from the EFT, the sound healing, the having a coach, reading books, I'm immersing my mind either on the internet with webinars, articles, information from whatever source I can get at these positive reinforcement and learning to get me the skills and the information and the knowledge that I need to keep moving up more and more and more and more, constantly moving forward. Even you could call it failing forward, and moving forward or failing forward, it doesn't matter, it's the same thing. But so the learning, having the right sounds around you. So having music playing while you're working, and it could be meditation music, it could be upbeat music, it could be ballad kind of music, it could be country music, classical music, whatever kind of music gets you in the right mindset to continue moving forward and overcoming whatever's holding you back. Affirmations don't work on their own, but they do work very powerfully in conjunction with other tools and strategies. And it's getting a heartfelt connection with those affirmations, having a vision board, having a mind movie. These are all things that I do. I have crystals. I love crystals. Didn't really get into crystals until this year, but I've really started to understand and appreciate the powerful vibrations that crystals have to be able to shift our vibration. So I have crystals around me on my desk. I have crystals on my bedside table. I do affirmations, not affirmations, I do chanting in the morning. So I do abundance chanting and different kinds of chanting to really shift my consciousness and my wealth vibration. I write down my goals. These are all simple things that you can do to stack the odds in your favor. And if you are asking yourself, who are you to achieve everything that you want to achieve? Ask yourself, who are you not to? Who are you not to? And then work feverishly to change your psychology. Yes, one of the big things that I have learned this year is the power of surrender and allowing, but it does not stop me from working feverishly to change my consciousness, to change my psychology, to master my psychology, because I know that that's the key. That is the key to me achieving everything that I want to achieve in life. So again, if you really want to know more about the program that I have for you, then go to consciouswealth-institute.com/wealth-mindset-mastery/. That's the Wealth Mindset Mastery program. That's where you'll find the details, and that's where you apply to put your deposit down so you can lock in your place at the special price of $1,497. That will go away when I launch the program to the public, because I'm going to be doing a launch to the public in the first couple of weeks of January. So that will go away when I start the launch. So you need to get in on that in the next couple of days. And remember, you just have to pay the $197 refundable deposit. So don't think about it, just do it. If you feel drawn to this, then just do it. And then we can have the 90-minute breakthrough session, which is already valued at more than $197. And you can decide from there whether you want to continue with the program. You don't have to make the decision now. So Frank he's got some great, comments there. That's all right, Frankie, your English is fine. Be yourself and find what you're good at and work that. Absolutely. You know, that's about your conscious, your unconscious competence. And I'll speak a lot more about that during the program. It's finding your unconscious competence and working on that. Most people don't even understand what their unconscious competence is. You do have the most powerful tool in the world, and it is your brain. Frank, you are totally and utterly right. So I'll stick around for a little while longer if you have any questions. I do hope to be able to have that breakthrough session with you. If you have any other questions, then you can always email me at Margarita, MARGUERITA at consciouswealthinstitute.com. If you have any questions about the program itself, then email me there, and I can help you. And I really hope to be able to, you're going to give me permission to help you to achieve whatever you want in this coming year, because I know that your heart's in the right place. It's just that you've got to get your head in the place where you can allow yourself to achieve more than you ever imagined possible. You are brilliant. You are amazing. Give yourself permission to have your best year ever, and then set yourself up for success. Stack the odds in your favor, and to be all that you can be, and to just go for it. To just go for it. Don't hold back. There's one last thing that I will leave with you, because I know we're up to the 90-minute mark, and I don't want to hold you too long. But there's one thing that I learned recently. I got out of an interview I was listening to with Neale Donald Walsch. And he kind of distilled all his teachings down into 3 very powerful 3-word phrases. So the first one is to be the source. So if there is something that you feel is lacking in your life, imagine that you are the source of that thing. If you feel you don't have enough love in your life, then be the source of love for others. If you feel like you don't have enough compassion in your life, then be the source of compassion for others. If you feel like you don't have enough money in your life, then be the source of money for others. Find those who have the belief system, the incorrect belief system, and they actually have less than you do, and share whatever you have with them. And you find that when you get this belief in your mind, body, and soul that you are the source, when you know that you are the source, because that's actually the truth, you are the source of all things. When you know that, you will lack for nothing. So be the source was the first 3-word phrase. The second 3-word phrase was see the perfection. See the perfection in everything in your life. Even when things look down and out and really ugly, see the perfection. Where is the perfection in what is happening? You know that it's your thoughts that create your suffering. So it's your thoughts about a situation that make it painful. It's not the situation that makes it painful. It's your thoughts about the situation that make it painful. And that's not to say that some of the emotions that you feel because of some of the things that life throws at you, because life will throw stuff at you. Or it does. It just does. And some of that stuff ain't pretty. But if you change your thoughts about it, you alleviate the discomfort greatly. It's such a relief to change your thoughts about something. And the person who's a master at that is Byron Katie. If you're not familiar with Byron Katie, Byron is how you spell her first name, and Katy is how you spell her second name. Get a hold of her stuff. She does something called The Work, and it is incredibly powerful. So see the perfection in every part of your life as much as you can, and know that you're not alone. You are never alone. You never have been alone. You never will be alone. You always have company. You are the universal source. You are connected to everything on this planet. So be the source, see the perfection, and know that you are not alone. Those are 3 very powerful statements. Take them to heart and integrate them into every part of your life, and know that you came here already complete, already fully done. You didn't have to become anything. You already are perfection. You already have everything within you to achieve what you want and more than you could ever dream possible. So that's it for the presentation today. We have gone a little bit over time. I do hope you have found this incredibly valuable, and I do hope to see you in the Wealth Mindset Mastery program. So don't forget to head on over to the page and register your interest if you feel the slightest bit drawn to this, because you can always make your mind up later as to whether it really is for you. So that's it for the presentation for today. I look forward to chatting with you again really soon. And yeah, if you have any feedback, please let me know. Take care. Have a fantastic New Year's, by the way, and get some momentum right now. Get some momentum right now on your future success. Take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.